They won.
Yeah.
Not.
And then I
Because
can
I'm
give
scared.
you the meeting ID.
I don't know, our really great like fallback center, like all nation defense team guy transfer. He's like a some big quick place. I can't list it up or something. I don't know how we'll do this year, but I don't know, guys, do you want
Yeah, the orange
season
vest one.
tickets for men's games or women's games? And they said, which one can we get closer to the action? And it's like, women's.
All right.
So we got
Do
some
they fight?
tickets for the women's games. No, they just like.
I mean, they're little.
Yeah. There's more.
Even if you don't follow sports, if you attend a sporting event, it's fun.
It's just fun. Yeah, it definitely. I used to follow it a lot more when I was younger, but I don't think it's really it's a fun thing to do. Like it's.
Yeah.
Work.
Are you, Quinn?
I don't think that's it. If you go to Zoom,
Yes.
Yeah,
I
you
just
were-
barely got to see that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I realized, I was like, I'll just put those down
Yeah.
and I just
It's very good.
keep it around in my brain.
join.
Yeah, Sean,
And our meeting ID is 861
His provo did.
848610.
So let's,
Yeah. That's probably. Let me ask you for a task code,
Has anyone heard anything more?
which is.
I'm not sure.
I'll text her real quick.
Oh, sure. This is.
I'll text Aaron. Let me. All kinds of things before.
I just registered for my last full semester.
Oh, you're already that far.
That's awesome. That's great.
It's like,
So, are you in a thesis?
Are we working?
No.
on a particular process?
This Zoom is just.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just opening it on his computer.
So
He's
grateful
going
for
to
that.
present it.
Oh, I see.
um,
Do we know if we have people that will be joining us?
I don't believe we do. But we
Hey,
just
how
need it
are
for the
you?
recording.
Long time no
but
see.
like,
Can I join this party?
Sure.
Of course.
I'm quite big.
Lane Gray. We've actually, I think we've spoken before.
It was great. Thank you. Thanks.
Are you in-
707.
I work for the city hall. I'm the capital projects manager.
oh, okay, Sarah Bateman.
Sarah, nice to meet
Nice to
you.
meet you.
Elaine and Paul, we.
Yeah,
met
waved you.
before, Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Derek.
Sarah?
And
Another
I'm just going to
class.
make sure that we have given you permission to.
Like every time I text Sarah.
See?
I need that.
That's the magic trick.
That is exactly what happened last time too. I obviously didn't get that early, 3 minutes early. I'm so sorry.
So we haven't started yet. We're having some Zoom challenges. Oh, good. Jane, did it work out?
I believe
Oh,
we're
no,
working.
no, you're good.
Just make sure your microphone is
We might be
muted,
having one more.
so it
person
doesn't
to the
cause
committee,
feedback.
You're not hurting her, is she might have conflict, so
Yeah.
you're,
Come on over.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
yeah,
Yes,
I don't think we need to.
I'll go chair. You're on chair.
It looks like the
How you
audio's working.
Good, how are you doing?
Are you Jim?
I am.
Hi.
Hi,
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
I just saw that you were on that list.
Yes, I'm the new Rachel.
You're the new Rachel.
but you're Michaela, but I'm Michaela.
Yes.
Wonderful. And Jay, are you recording?
We are recording. Yeah,
You're recording right now, so we can call this meeting to order.
absolutely.
Welcome, everybody. We have a full table today. I'm excited that we're going to spend the first half of our meeting today talking about landscape and design for the city center, something that a number of us have had questions about. We also got to see this last week reprices water conservation plan, or which was shared at a work session with City Council. And wanted to reflect a little bit on that and see if we had additional feedback that we could share. Thanks, Sarah, for weighing in on some of that. And then our agenda item number 3, which is a calendar discussion 2023, is aspirational. If we don't get to it, we will get to it in December. But I'd like to save some time for us to start thinking about how we want to structure some things going forward. Sarah had some ideas there. And then we have some time for reporting on our individual stewardship assignments. So, you know, our committee is designed so that each of us has both a function that we play on the committee and also one area of natural resources that we are responsible to be good stewards of. Given that we have some folks at the table who haven't joined us before, including you, Michaela, I thought we could actually take the first 5 minutes and just go around and if each of you share something about who you are and why you're here today for 30 seconds. Michaela, who you start?
So I'm Michaela Wagstaff. I just got hired this week as the new associate planner for Orem, since Rachel has left us to work with them. I graduated with my degree in planning this past April and have been working for Orem City for almost a year and a half. I was down in finance, and then I did a hybrid position between finance and development services, and now I'm just in development services.
Is that getting better in your view then? Are you moving up the world from finance to development?
I did really enjoy finance.
Oh, okay.
But I am very happy to be working within my degree.
Yes.
So yeah, it's been a good 4 days.
Where did you get
4 days?
BYU.
The
Yeah,
thing
I
is, she has
tried
some
that.
contrast and experience now, so in a year, she's like, you know what, I'm gonna ditch this place, go back.
Back to finance.
Yeah.
She's moved out of the basement though. She's out now.
I can see natural light, which is
Oh,
fun, and it hasn't happened in a while. So,
I think what we'll do is go around and start with the committee and then we'll move to our guests. Actually, Matt, we can go next.
Matt Taylor, I'm a senior planner here at Orem City.
Something you care about?
I care about resilient communities, socially resilient communities.
We can spend some time talking about that. Yes, Sarah.
Sarah Bateman, been on this committee since it started almost 6 years ago. And I'm grateful that I get to work with amazing people and talk about the kind of nerdy things I like to talk about.
Which are?
The planet and people and how the connections with both of them make us feel better.
I'm Paul Dunn. I've been on the committee for 3 years now, and I teach ecology at UVU, so I'm very interested in interactions between organisms and their environment, humans and their cities and the other organisms that live here. My assignments on that committee are land use and ethics. So I do both of those.
I'm Darren Hawkins. I teach political science at BYU. And I've been on the committee for a while as well. And I care about snow. And I am very grateful for snow. And I care about snow because we need a lot of it. One thing that makes me very anxious is water resources and the lack thereof. And but I also just love playing in snow, and snowshoeing, and skiing. I love all things outdoors.
Reminds me that I booked my social time.
Yes, I was going to go explore tomorrow morning and see how much snow we got up at Aspen Grove, for example.
My name is Quinn Beacom. I'm also on the Natural Resources Stewardship Committee. And I currently working on questions of energy. I also work at UIU. Usual in international studies. I care a lot about community issues as well. Debbie's here.
Sorry, I've just been double ribbon cuttings today, which is awesome. Do the businesses open their doors? One healthy, one not unhealthy.
Would you introduce yourself for a moment?
Sure, Councilwoman Betty LeRae. This is my 7th year on council, and I think I've been on here twice for 2 years. And it's a great, this is a great committee that this committee one has, so happy to be here.
What were your ribbon cuttings today?
Yonuts, which is donuts and ice cream at University Mall. And then at 4:15, it was Esos Fitness Center next to Ashley Furniture. So I was like the irony of these two things back to back. But they were both busy, and I think, you know, we're Family Studio say we like ice cream, we like donuts. They match them together. You know, like a waffle iron, and they make them hot.
Interesting.
Well, I would have loved to if they were milky. And then EOS, of course, is like the Ashley Furniture. It's a large facility, pool, watch movies. We have a cinema thing where you bicycle or treadmill and watch a movie.
Wow. Did you see any of foreign citizens at both those places?
Many,
Yeah.
many.
But yeah, the same. Both of them.
Oh, I see. One who went to one answer.
No one followed me over, no,
Okay.
but they should have.
Excellent.
So sorry to be late, but that's exciting that we have the businesses.
For those who are with us just for today, would you introduce yourselves?
Happy to. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Lane, right? So you have a- so this project, City Center, is one of 3. Project manager for. So there's this project, there's Heritage Park, we're building a 10 million gallon storage reservoir. In fact, all others, if you looked at that landscaping around that particular project, also managing with Chris Park.
Is the building down now?
Building, most of it is done. There's just a little sliver on it. That hasn't come down.
Under what?
I am Hugh Bolt with Landmark Design, working with Method Studios on the fence.
I'm Jay Taggart with Method Studio. Our architectural team is working on the city hall design. Project manager on the project. Working with Lane.
These are awesome. These are great.
Method's done many of our projects, fitness center, I believe our library also, did you do both of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're well known here in Orem, and the quality of their work has been very well. It's received.
Could I ask you, Lane, maybe just to give us a little bit of context on the city hall timelines, the
Yeah,
aspirations?
so obviously we're still in design and plan as far as schedule moving forward is that we break ground somewhere around March 1. Method Studio doing the design, late construction with GMDC, so they're the general contractor on the project. We anticipate the build will take somewhere in the neighborhood of a year and a half. So we're looking probably August of 24, July, August-ish of 24. Once we move in from this building into the new building, then the building. So where we are sitting right now, and that's what we're here to discuss a little bit, is going to be kind of the landscape area, the campus that we go into. So I'll go right here with this building.
Where will
It'll be kind of an L shape like the south of us. So it'll be right directly south and then wrap around kind of the western side.
Keeping the city library.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Library home. So all the library home and library will stay.
Library.
intact.
Does Method have, do you have a picture to kind of show?
Yes,
We're getting the spring.
They're working.
of the building.
Of the site.
I think the whole
Whole site,
campus.
yeah.
You'll see that, yes, when you see the landscape design, you'll see where the library home is located.
What's coming down? Just this wing? This is just-
Can I add something that Blaine said? A lot of you know with COVID supplies, channels have been just crazy. So we're actually ordering systems, supplies now. And holding them, I'm not sure we're holding them, but that we're gonna assemble everything so that come March, it's not start, stop, start, stop.
Mhm.
Get what we need now, so we know we have it, and then, and Layton's the one who suggested we do that. I thought it was very wise.
Well, hopefully it all works out, because there are some items that are out for several weeks, 52 weeks. Need to identify those things that are hard to get and get those.
This might be much cheaper.
Maybe.
Well, actually, all of our design teams are showing, sharing that the costs with COVID, they went up and they're staying right there. They're not going up any further, they're not coming back down, they're just gonna hold it. So, it's hard to say. I will say this, we just did 2 projects recently. And we got better prices than we anticipated.
No, well,
So that's encouraging.
This is a $26 million bid for the building, right? Or right around that.
And Debbie, we're funding it in part through 2 ways.
What happened is we got some COVID funds for emergency command center. And if I remember correctly, it was about 4 million that was the last piece that we were missing. Yeah, that we would save you for years and years to build, kind of a rainy day fund, capital projects, obviously putting money away. And so by doing this emergency command center, which will also include like fire, the fire offices, and it's going to be built to a higher standard of earthquake. Is it level 4? A level 4 earthquake, where the rest will be high standard, would be a level 3. That's got to stand as an emergency command center. And so COVID was a blessing in the sense that we could take that money and finish what we needed. So there is going to be no tax increase, no bond, no. We've just been saving quietly and for many years. And so we appreciate the COVID funds that finished that off and also finished off our Hillcrest Park. That's a $12 million build, and we were going to maybe phase that in because we only had so much money. But once again, COVID, ARPA funds, whatever you want to call them, filled in the gap because those could be used for outdoor projects. COVID. So your taxes have helped us instead of phasing those or trying to find ways to finance them. They were the final piece that actually did that.
Appreciate that. One more question for you to start. And then I think our aspirations in having all of you here as a committee are twofold. One is we'd like to learn. Like to be well informed as to where we are and what your objectives are. And then secondly, we'd like to be a resource, specifically when it comes to thinking about energy, landscaping and outside environments. Those kinds of things are things that all of us collectively have invested some time in trying to provide support and advice to the city of Oregon. So we'll have some questions for you, and then feel free to ask us questions as well. My final question for you Wayne, was, what does success look like? What I know that we have earthquake readiness issues, there are safety related issues. In addition to remedying those, what are the other aspirations of the project?
Well, obviously, one of them would be is to build a facility that is not only fits the needs of the city now, but so we're designing this building to allow us for some growth. Obviously, city personnel and so forth, that's going to grow over time. So we want this building, the building is 50 years out. And get it done in a timely manner.
So more space. What you're saying. Safer. Fire close. Any other?
Well, It's gonna be LEED, and it'll be energy efficient also.
It won't be certified.
We can talk about that. Thank you. So let me just turn over to you all, and if you want to take the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and just teach us where we're at and what your hopes are, and then we can move through the discussion.
Okay. That sounds good. Good.
Sure. I'm gonna stand and point. So, about a month ago, we got a kind of a base, and we were tasked to do some different plaza concepts or ideas, and we presented them to the architect and to the other design committee. And they came up with ideas, and then we refined those and came up with two other concepts of that, from that refinement. And I'll walk you through those just to get you oriented. This is State Street, and this is Center. This is the library, and this would be the new building. The building we're sitting in is right about here. This is that walkway. Now you're oriented for this. This is the concept, one of the concepts, and it includes some, well, let me back up. One of the things that we needed to keep was this walkway and this concrete right here. That is the fire lane for the library, and they didn't want us reinventing that wheel again. So, so we kept that, and so I'll just walk you through some of the ideas and things that we have in this concept. So there'd be kind of a staging area where they could bring in different elements for teaching with the library. I think they do that now, is what I've been told. Right here's the entry sign, but this would be like pathways with like overhead lights, similar to this, or some accent to bring people in. And then these two are the two ginkgo trees, and these are the other two trees, 5 trees total that we were told we need to
They're very sacred.
do everything we can to keep those. So that's these darker green
So
5
those are
trees.
existing trees?
Yes, these 5 darker green.
And can I add here that we had our naturalists, arborists, whatever we call them.
Urban forest?
Yeah, urban forester, that's a name. Look at all the life of those trees. And so some of them, while they were lovely trees, they are being taken down, and that's where, some of them were where the building is.
Yeah, over here, there's, yeah.
So
and
we
then
try to
picture here.
preserve, because honestly, the lights at Christmas time are the #1 thing that people are happy about.
Right.
The #1 comment we get, and the thank yous I get everywhere I go. So the idea was to preserve as much of those trees that were healthy, they thought it's healthy. And so the 5 of those trees were, we gave that directive, save as many of those trees as you possibly can.
As a side note, if there are trees that have to be taken down, I'm wondering if there are ways to repurpose the facility.
No, that's not
That's an essential way that we think about.
Yeah, I could see a cool project, a bench made out of a tree, I don't know, something like that. It's not a bad idea. And I'll add one more thing, we're adding permanent lights to these buildings, the library, and you know, have different holidays, you can change your lights. So you'll see lit on these buildings, the permanent lights that will, the idea is, they're so popular, is that a Valentine's will have red and white, at Easter will have purple, and we're gonna be lighting more often. That's something that really people are really pleased with. So just, not just Christmas, but we're gonna add more lights that are permanent lights. Halloween, you know, 4th of July, I can see us doing lights of various shapes and, not shapes, but colors.
Okay.
They'll be
Okay.
LED, I promise, they'll be energy efficient. But I think that's fun.
Okay, so walking around, this would be kind of a natural area, kind of a terraced. This is where the slope, most of the slope is of the site. So it'd kind of be a landscape terraced area. We haven't worked out a lot of the details. We talked about some signage and lighting. There's a sign right here, so we'll have to discuss and evaluate additional signage. When you turn off of Center on the State, the sign's clear back here, so there may need to be some other element to say we're here. We haven't really got into that yet. Then here are some walls, and we've been directed to have something here that would kind of keep errant vehicles from running into the building, either whether accidental or on
Large stone
purpose.
or something.
Yes. So these would be just short. I'm thinking short concrete walls, but it could be anything to keep vehicle. And then this is another plaza, entry plaza. And then coming back around here, this would be kind of a gathering area that you could host events or just mingle. And this would be kind of an area that would be, we were thinking food trucks could come into here from the parking lot, and there could be, the electric or whatever they need here to stage here. And then this area here would be kind of informal dining, crushed stone maybe or something with chairs and tables, and the informal pathway through here. This would be a bermed lawn oval for where people could gather and sit, and then this would be like a pollinator garden or a meadow or just some tall grasses through here, and then the pathway would link through here like that. That's the ideas for that.
What is the existing footprint of the parking lot compared to this?
So
I know that the building will be on top of this.
right, so there's not parking here now.
It's on campus.
Yeah, so this is all the cross of walkways from this building over to here. So they're linking the parking through here.
So what stalls that
And-
we're
and
taking up, the
so-
stalls that we're replacing from the building.
Yeah.
4 stalls.
It's the same number.
Yeah, so we're taking out the stalls that are here.
There's a
and then
parking
once
lot
they
right
get to the building itself, that number is 84 stalls, and that's what this complies with. That's what those stalls are, 84 stalls.
And I know that we have our electric charger stations out here.
Those will be relocated here.
The same number, right? So the existing ones within that. So,
You want to go to we did another concept. It's many of the same elements, but just a little configuration.
So these two concepts were presented to everybody on Tuesday, and from that, there's been feedback of direction on where to keep them, both these concepts to get to one concept.
And this one includes more of a directional element from the building. And it's quite wide. So you could host many things along that. But the idea was we need to narrow it down a little bit. That's like 25 feet wide. So you could have a car show there. It's a different kind of activity, but you could do lots of things. These are quite wide. And then many of the elements are the same. We have the staging plaza areas where you could have activities. Same 5 trees. This would have like a sail. The other one had a sail too, but kind of a shade structure. All the purple is landscape of shrubs and grasses, things like that. And this has another armoring of the corner. Food trucks are still there. This is very similar of the things. It's just oriented differently.
Couple of things they were tasked with is giving some activity, the dining connection on both entries, and also off State Street is creating some sound barrier through that, but when you're in that plaza, it's not it's a place, so it's a place to be. Some additional things, so then like the shade structure, right now, all this is conceptual, but potentially some of that might some elements off of what the architecture of the building is doing. Let's say that shade structure or maybe a sail. Anyway.
Yeah, we haven't really got into the details.
And the timeline to finalize the designs.
For the site.
Yeah.
It's end of December about is when that completed. So well, let's see. I'm trying to remember the schedule off the top of my head. We need to have approval by the end of December so that we can get. They need to start with excavation and stamp schedule. So one of the critical moments is the site approval.
Maybe just a quick response to that, and then for discussion. Some of the things that we see as part of our stewardship that we care about our energy use. So we'd be interested to know more about we care about vegetation. Very interested in having a lot of vegetation, water-wise vegetation, pollinating spaces. So I think Paul was really excited about that.
Yeah,
There. So those would be some of the things that we care a lot about there. I think maybe a third thing that we care about is finding a way for people to notice those things and be educated in some way about the fact that these are perhaps indigenous plants, or water-wise plants, or look at how much beauty you can create, right, with also being conservative in the way we use our natural resources. And then,
What do you think of educational signs? Like, I just see a little sign says this is a so on it. Is that what you're thinking? Or
I think we'll open it up, but something that helps people interpret what they're experiencing, I think would be appropriate. And then, of course, we care about all the social things. We care about having a gathering places where people want to be with each other. And other things we've already done. Are there other things from our committee that we also care about? And I know that you have a list. So.
one thing that I just wanted to ask is there any plan for bike racks or some sort of like bike parking area?
Yes, there will be bike racks.
Yeah.
That part of the design is there are showers inside for those who are biking. So they're able to fish out in that.
Sweet.
Really? Wow.
That's really great.
Wow.
I know that shade is really important for moms and kids. Whether that's reflection or a shade structure of some sort. Shade is well, the playground. The first thing people say is we need more shade. We need more shade covered. So obviously, depending on the plants, whether they're getting shade. If you think about gathering space, I'm just happy here. How could a family sit here and enjoy without and stuff? So,
And also trying to avoid the
yeah. Sometimes a lot of rock will give up a lot of heat, so a little bit of rock is nice. It's a little water, but you have to look at the heat sources. But shade is, I get that all the time from moms. Shade is important.
Yeah. I guess one thing that I notice whenever we promote water conservation, for example, or whenever the city tries to promote water conservation, you get immediately 50 people yelling about how the city itself is not conserving water very well.
Your
And-
water side up at the bar?
Yes,
I
exactly.
know.
Yeah. And so it just seems like it would be really lovely to really keep that in mind, right? As a place that this is a place we can point to where the city is the example, right? Yeah, it would be so nice to, because yeah. So the sort of a native plants, that meadow / pollinator garden, you mentioned grasses or something, tall grasses, something like that, native grasses would be so lovely there. And just sort of, kind of some kind of drip irrigation or really water efficient sprinklers or something like that. So that's just kind of one comment. I mean, so first of all, I love these. Thank you very much, and thanks for sharing them with us. Thanks for taking the time to share them. These are exciting and beautiful. I guess my other comment was, you have entry plazas facing State Street and Center Street. I mean, just from a design feature, those seem more symbolic than functional. There wouldn't be very many people entering from State Street, or because the pedestrian use, right? Pedestrian use of State Street and Center Street is pretty small.
There, can I push back a little bit?
Yeah.
As one that walks that intersection daily,
Yeah.
there's actually quite a bit more than.
And maybe if you build it, they will come. It will be more accessible to.
It'd be
build
very
something.
sad if I have to go
Yeah.
all the way to the parking lot around. just to-
Well, where do you come from as you go down the sidewalks? Where do you come from?
I'm headed all to these different shopping centers.
Okay.
Also,
I was just gonna say, remember, this is our first big
It's not just
project
me, I
on State
observe
Street.
a lot of.
And what I mean by that, this is the first for our master plan that we actually, that kind of got gutted a little bit, but the idea is to make it more walkable, more engaging, so that people will do more. I'm realizing safety wise, there's not a ton, but the whole idea is, let's make it, eventually, it will broaden down State Street and be more walkable, be more pedestrian friendly with safety in mind.
Well, I certainly applaud that, and that's great. I am happy to hear that walkers exist, and that it is likely to be used. That makes me very, very happy. I was just wondering, so you mentioned about how that the entry with gateway signage lighting forest remnant, like that forest remnant. That is partly a sound barrier. That makes a lot of sense to me. I guess, I don't know, I guess I'm wondering, is it possible to even make all of that green and just have one entry place? Maybe not, but more green, less pavement is always going to be my bias.
part of the idea there too is we wanted to create an area that can actually buffer some of the sound,
Right.
but yet we wanted some corridor to where if you're driving down Straight Street or walking down Straight Street, the campus can kind of open up and you can see the campus.
Okay.
Debbie spoke to the Christmas lights.
Yeah. Okay.
We visualize that whole area. Christmas time.
Okay.
So that makes sense.
Thank you. That's all this information is very helpful. I certainly don't want to create any problems or say, well, my view is right here, but that's all very.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is really exciting. I'm looking forward to, I mean, this feels very welcoming. And again, good places for people to be able to engage with the city itself and to engage with each other and kind of anchor, this area as a place to be. I sent an email to with just some ideas that I had thrown down, and a lot of what I would like to focus on is, and Quinn already brought it up, is I want us to be able to share and celebrate what the city's already doing and take this opportunity to include perhaps interpretive signage that maybe has general information about, maybe there's something next to the pollinator garden that teaches people about the importance of pollinators. We're the Beehive State. Let's, we're creating and celebrating our pollinators or whatever. Or the water-wise landscaping, where when people come there, they can be educated about what the city is doing, its efforts to conserve water and where they can go. Maybe there's a QR code on these signs where people can, citizens can go and see real time what the city is working on in water or energy or, all of these different areas. And it can be, a lot of different kinds of things. But instead of, so that it makes the experience in visiting the city center more interactive and more educational. Instead of just coming to the building and taking care of your business, you come to the building and you learn, oh, this feature was incorporated in the building that is really interesting. Maybe there's information about the energy and how we're saving taxpayer dollars by making these choices with our energy and being really efficient. And here's where you can go to learn more about what the city is doing right now, because obviously the data will get updated as time goes by. So I just, I think that is kind of a low cost addition that could really help celebrate what the city's doing and help just educate residents on all of these different areas.
That's like one thing that you mentioned in the email,
Uh-huh.
that I think is very intriguing, hasn't been mentioned yet, which is to actually have a water feature. Sometime where when you're on the campus, you can actually hear water trickling. If there was a way to do that in an efficient way, right, it could also be the focal point for so people to think about water.
Water, yeah, and water. I mean, Orem has done a great job with water, and so then it's just a visual.
This water comes from
Yeah,
3 sources.
yeah, something like that.
Water in this fountain comes from Deer Creek and from these 3 springs and from the wells near your home.
Yeah. And then, and also like just
I
general.
Speak to it, just for a second.
Sure.
It's right out here. We had a- I don't know if anyone remembers. And, the kids would come by. Soak in it. Clean it up, and stuff. And so that kind of gave us a little bit of this new benefit. So I totally get the idea of what the church does instead of what it has to do. Kind of leaning away from that for those very purposes.
I'm wondering if instead of a big fountain where it becomes a focal point that people want to put bubble bath and stuff in, that it's more of those water lanes into the
Not like city green or
so something that would be hard to do that.
Right, it's something that cascaded down.
But maybe you could have like the Orange City Creek that kind of self-circulating kind of thing.
We thought about maybe doing something like it, kind of visualizing it, making it maybe in bricks or something. I don't know, you and his company, they're the brands behind that stuff.
As somebody who has one of the defunct canals running
Water Western.
one part of the road.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
the ditch there. I can tell a huge difference between when I have water running through it in terms of my interest and ability of things. So just the sound. Something that is a really powerful tool. So if there was a way of having water sounds
Yeah, that's the buffer.
that actually, it's the buffer. It actually came from water. But I really think that that would be a huge draw for people wanting to.
I just have two more things in the notes now. Also signs about the history and culture about Orem. Be a fairly simple addition to celebrate, you know, our house, our orchards, that kind of thing. And then the other thing was actually about the seismic retrofitting in the emergency center. I'm just wondering if there was going to be any kind of independent from the grid rooftop solar on the location, so that if there is a power outage, the city can still have power. I mean, I know they're generators, but like could be an option incorporated into the emergency center. And anyway,
We haven't talked in, so there will be a backup generator. So,
I was just gonna say, if there were solar, rooftop solar, that could be another way to engage with the public, you know, talk about, hey, you know, this is how we're, you know.
I do know the
incorporating
big utilities
renewable
are gonna
energy.
be in the higher level, there's big roofs in the basement, right? There's an area that's gonna have the utilities that are, I was told it's because we want them to be more safe and secure.
Yeah, your main electrical
Yeah.
communication, all the mains are gonna be,
In the,
kind of the west wing.
Hey, could you speak a little bit about the lead features and why it's not being certified? How are thinking about that?
And I don't know, maybe Jay, you can speak better to this, but we would need to be lead certified. We would need to be study. Most of that study is quite certified. So that kind of, we have a tight budget that we're working on, so that kind of just didn't interest us too much to spend that money. But I don't think it's something that we're totally rule out. So we'll continue with that. Jay, do you have any further information on you design this building?
really, what you're paying for is a certification and the time that it takes to track it, which is probably more like double what you mentioned.
I mean, just the study itself.
Yeah, because, yeah,
But to become certified.
an application and homework and paperwork and all that. As we design buildings nowadays, we're usually exceed a LEED silver, just in what we do, energy code itself requires us to do. So I think you will get more bang out of the product to apply that to project like a plaque. That says this is what we did.
How does that compare to the state's high performance building?
So high performance building standards and the LEED, think of it like this. Think of it as buying a foot online or like a suit online. That's what LEED is. You know, it does generally well, but the high performance building standards is like going and getting a custom tailored suit. So it's tailored to your needs. It fits really well. You look great in it. There's a lot of things like LEED. They have things like proximity to stops, proximity to where you're sourcing new materials from, things like that. And some other things that sometimes, depending on what your site, it's like we want to miss out on those points because our site isn't located next to those things. High performance building really that just tailors it to what you're trying to just have a high performance building. One that performs well, one that doesn't have a lot of air leakage, but does use low energy. So it encompasses all of the architecture, the amount of glazing, type of materials that are used, how you skin the building and tile, air leakage, mechanical systems, electrical systems, plumbing systems, all that. So really, that's the better approach, is that approach putting standards versus the.
Hmm.
In my mind, I mean, if you talk about the state thinks that too, because that's whether that's how they kind of describe it to me, is that the tailor suit, the one you buy online, it, that's okay, but there's some things about that that aren't right there.
So this is a high performance building.
That's what we're doing. And there's some things like, I mean, you can do in high performance buildings, there's some testing that you can do or not do. Like, water tests on the windows, and so that there's not leaks and tests and things like that. And then there's a lot of different tests you can or cannot do, which all involve costs. But we haven't really talked about those things. Lane, those tests and things like that, how far we want to go. But there's a lot of what Method Studio has done that we instituted, we know what the appropriate design of our mission.
One thing that I think could be very powerful in the spirit of what Sarah was talking about before is for us to estimate the difference in engineers in the building and in the building itself to highlight that difference and the reasons for the difference. If there was a way, even if it was not a perfect calculation, to have a pretty reliable estimate as to per square foot in the old facility, this is how much energy we need.
I'm thinking like a little, did you know sign, something like, did you know that this new building uses so much less out? Something that doesn't have to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just something. I think it's always good to show the taxpayers that we're being responsible and not wasting that.
Will the new building have like smart systems?
And we working on a little bit of commissioning, but not. So commissioning is part of coming in and testing the systems and understanding how they perform in the way they have been designed. Performance. So it's how that. Just things that have to measure. That earmarks when you kind of come back and you measure what was compared to the design versus how it's performing. So there's things that happen. There's different systems and monitoring systems that you're based on your mechanical system. Systems monitor those. On those.
I would just encourage you to measure those. And who would be the one that is able to actually compare it to what we currently use? So,
Yeah, I would certainly do that. Obviously, there's a little bit of time and building to use that information.
I don't want to lose the information about what we're using this way.
Yeah.
Couple personal, these are not necessarily related to water use or anything, but high level plaza that has the city name spelled out, like an O or an EM, because when I go to a facility, I like taking pictures when I'm in a spot, and I like making the O or the R or whatever. And I know that sounds funny, but I would like this to be a place where it becomes an iconic place that you would come and take a picture. And it doesn't necessarily have to be at this plaza, but somewhere in this city center park, I would love to have an O and R and E and M big enough so that, I could get my family, we'll make the.
Provo does that very well.
Yeah.
Actually,
They have one, and it's something that it shows up on people's Facebooks, they tag it, and it kind of becomes an iconic thing. The other thing that I'm really pushing with our parks is these water bottles. I want bottle refilling stations. I've pushed our community action, our grants, CDBG funds, to have these bottle refilling stations. So if you're going to have a fountain, water fountain, would you please have a feature that would refill bottles? I think it's really important that all of our parks eventually, or plazas, have bottle
and
filling.
interior.
And interior, yeah. I think it's the way of the future, and I think for a little extra money, it makes sense. We can recycle these and.
Well, and usually those bottle fillers usually incorporate, like, this is the number of bottles that you save from landfill by refilling. So again, that's just a really simple
Yeah, you
way
see
to
them at the
educate
airport.
the public about.
And are
why
you gonna
we're
have any
saving
water,
these things.
water filler drinking fountains in here?
We're doing it on the interior with the bottle fillers. And they do that right out.
Yeah.
They save so much,
Yeah.
right?
My 14-year-old son, every time we go see one of those, he compares how many bottles this one saved. to one
That's fun.
And it just, you know, it's something that even for a 14-year-old boy, he can get his mind around, like, how this is actually.
Yeah. So if you have an outdoor one, please do that, and I'll endorse it. Have a fun.
We have talked about a sub fee. Basically, for the spot.
Oh, really?
I'm telling you, they become iconic,
true.
and it's really fun. And if we're gonna be Family City USA, I just love the idea of families making the difference.
Where they have like the art murals.
Yeah, and we're wrapping a lot of the utility boxes
Yeah.
with some amazing art that I've approved. I mean, there's some phenomenal artists that have. So it's gonna be fun to wrap utility boxes with really fun art. If you have any utilities anywhere, let's plan on wrapping them with an art feature. If they're outside.
This is on my wish list this is maybe for you, not necessarily for this project. My dream is that the Orange City budget, I allocate 1% every year to public art. That would be a lot.
That would be a lot of money.
That's a
However,
lot.
I will say that our care funds have been going more and more to some really good art projects. And so if you have things in mind, with Sarah getting the majority of the art funds and Hale not getting their proportion, we have more money because they're really good at PG. What I'm saying is, think big and think, there's a project you want to do, we probably.
Public art.
Again,
Yeah.
We should task this committee to write something like a YMCA.
Well, we do have our,
We've already gotten
we do
it.
have our
Like-
arms turning 100.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
Arms turning.
Yeah, I remember.
Are there any other, we've kept you longer than
Yeah.
we anticipated. Are there any other things?
I do have one, and it ties back into biking. So there will be bike racks, but I'm just trying to think, because Darren's comment about walking into that entry plaza made me think, well, we want it to be very accessible for a bike commuter or somebody who's coming to one of these performances by bike. Right? So I know currently we don't have bike lanes on Center Street, but we might someday in the future. I don't know. And so it would be great if, I mean, we don't currently have the bike path, but if it was very bike friendly to go into wherever the bike racks are going to end up. Whether that's from the State Street side or the parking lot side or the Center Street side. It just makes a huge difference. Like Matt was saying, if you don't have to walk your bike all the way around the building to where the rack is or whatever, it's just really nice. And you're not like running right into where everybody's walking. or
Right, trying to
whatever.
dodge people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So if we can shunt the bikes in like a really nice way, that would be awesome.
Hmm.
And then I also had a question for you, Debbie. Does Orem have any sort of plan or current contract with an e-bike company? Like, could there be like e-bike racks on this campus?
There certainly could.
There are a lot
A lot
of
of them at
bird bikes
UVU.
right now around the city.
Yeah,
We're open to anyone who comes to us.
okay,
And I-
because that could be another thing that, you know.
There's a lot by UVU. I see them all over the parks, the scooters.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the scooters and starting to see some more of the bikes.
So there are a lot of bikes in my neighborhood.
Okay. Yeah.
But
'Cause
we're
that-
not opposed to them if anyone wants to expand that. Sure.
'Cause that could also encourage people, you know, if you can pick up the bike in your neighborhood and ride it to the city center, it makes it much easier than right there.
And Jay and others, is there anything that you have questions?
Can I have one more thing?
Wow, we're giving you guys lots of feedback.
Well, when you guys have an
Thank you so
exciting
much.
project.
I know,
Stop,
it's
stop,
just
stop.
so cool.
I just have, okay, I was in Miami, and in Miami, they have a park that actually has the Domino's cement thing,
Oh,
and it's a gathering place.
like a game table
It's
thing?
like a game table, and it's a gathering place for like the seniors to come. It's a little
Mhm.
Havana of Miami. And they come and they have a club. And I thought, you know what? I don't think we have much for seniors in a lot of our, and it may not be the right place, but I'm saying when we design, we have to think of with the little moms with the tots, but drawing a senior in. And when I saw them playing dominoes and they gather at lunch and they play their little dominoes or maybe even chess, I don't know.
Yeah.
Feels like they were jumping over each other. I don't know. It was just really cute. So, and this may not be the place, but City Center Park should have
Over by the fringe sign.
should have fun places that seniors can gather. One other place had a whittling station and men were whittling little things. I just thought this is the funniest thing I've ever
We
seen.
need a first aid station.
But what I'm saying is, if we are the baby to senior down the USA, which incorporates all of it, we have to think in terms of each population. So I'm not saying initially here, but I'm saying, think of a senior, think of a gathering spot. You know, I go to play bingo with my dad at the senior center, but it'd be fun to have a place to
Yeah.
play games, do whatever. Just think of toddlers to the terrible, I will call them terrible,
Maybe
what's the
old
old
guy
people?
like me.
To the gummers. We used to call them gummers. I don't know what they call them now.
But before we close the non-discussion, anything else?
I don't have anything further. Thank you for the input. I've got a little-
We really appreciate you listening. Yeah. You have kind of cool jobs, actually.
Yeah.
Kind of what we're saying is we wish we had that job.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We'll let you go. If it'll be all right, we'd love to have you back at some point, maybe in the new year, to talk about actually what happened.
Okay.
And talk about what we get excited about. That's all right.
And my question is, do you want us to help write some educational materials, like the actual, actually help you come up, or do you have enough information? Like, we've got some experts here that can add water-wise things and pollination. I mean, I guess my question is, do you want our help to help you do the educational component part of that? Or do you want to give us what you have and then we'll tweak it? Or, I guess I'm asking, and that's not till it's done. I
Yeah,
get that. But it's gonna be after I'm on council, so my question is,
Let's see where it all shakes out.
Well, why don't we plan to follow up in the first part of the week? Thank you so much. We're so glad that you're on the team.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your input.
Thank you for listening.
You folks have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
coming.
you so much for,
Real quick, what's the plan for the trees? Wait, you're breaking ground March?
Plan is around March 1.
Okay, so,
February excavation.
so I will reach out to you perhaps about trees that are gonna be going.
I'd love to make it into a bench.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah, I know that.
we've got, benches, or, another idea that could be interesting is, hiring artisans to create sculptures, like, that could be in part of the gallery in the city hall, that kind of connects people, so when they come, they can see, so that the trees can live on, in a kind of artistic legacy. One of them, I'm picturing an actual carved tree that, again, we could educate about Tree City USA, about our orchards, but a way to
A
incorporate.
sculpture of a tree out of our tree.
I know, the irony of
No,
that,
no,
for
perfect.
sure, but like, you
Chainsaw
know,
art.
so that,
Yeah.
I just know that, that those trees have been talked about a lot on social media. So if the city could tell the public, hey, I know, these trees are really precious, but we have
the tree lives on.
a way that we'd like to
a
incorporate
different
that
form.
artistically, as part of our ongoing heritage about trees and orchards, and a way to.
And we could
Anyway,
probably use
I-
air
Could
funds.
be
I know
like-
that's cost, but
Yes.
what's that?
He said we can make a city council dais out of them.
Oh, right.
Or I know we might not be worthy of that. Let's be
I
honest.
know the fitness center incorporated the flooring.
The
from-
flooring, yeah, they did.
They had a wall on the flooring, using the flooring.
Yeah.
So I don't know, if something like that, like a wall that features, but if we can tell the people that you know, we would like to continue the spirit of the trees that have, you know, rooted us in our community for so long and,
Yeah.
you know, anyway.
It's gonna be a sad day when they come down. I'm,
Rooted us.
I'm not even gonna think about that. Rooted us, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Thank you.
One
Thank you.
passing comment is part of that area up to where the trucks are is intended to be a nod to the orchards.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah.
There's this different elements of what Forum has, is orchards, forests, meadows, things like that. Those
That'd be
elements are
great. That's great.
incorporated in That plaza design. So anyway, we talked about some of those things that were important to Forum Pass.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you know Heritage Park is super important in this community too.
Yes, it is.
As we-
Yes, it is.
As that
Thank you.
gets dug in.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thanks.
I thought that that was a very rich discussion.
Yes.
And maybe one of the more important things we've done this year actually, is to have them.
Well, Lane is the point person for the city. I mean, Lane is who we say,
Okay.
Make it
I'm glad he
happen.
was here.
make it happen. And he
Yes,
reports to
thank you.
us.
Yes.
He reports to us and, so.
Yes. In the interest of our time, I'm wondering if there's any objection to moving our water conservation plan discussion to this. That the city will act in different. I'd like to give that sufficient.
What was the, can I get an initial impression? Is it? Did anybody look at it?
Sarah.
You provide comments on it,
Oh.
right? I should look at your comments. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
did
no,
not
that's
read
fine.
them.
I,
I am reminded now of this.
I only had a couple of questions.
Okay. Okay. I'm happy to put it off. I was just wondering, is there some
Since your point on it, I think there are areas of,
potential
I
improvement?
think you'll see those. I think
Okay.
it's a good step.
Okay, that's some areas of potential improvement. Okay. And we can actually offer some feedback. Yes. So, okay.
Green was very.
Okay, good. Thank you.
That's everything. And if it's all right, we'll put off our calendar items in December and we'll start. I'd like to schedule a retreat in either December or early.
And as the Christmas season comes on, recycling of trees, you know, that's important that we have a message out there about what to do with your tree or how to recycle it or chip it or, I mean,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that that is such a thousands of trees
That's true.
get dumped into,
And I don't know if we have, I don't know, we can get a chipper.
Just, I will have class next semester, Thursday nights, so I won't be able to attend for months. So
I
I'm
changed the meeting. She's.
No,
We could.
but no, I'm not asking to change the meeting, but just keep me in the loop
We
and
have-
I'll just like,
We have the flexibility to do that if we.
Okay. Well, I
figure it
can
out in
just-
advance.
again, it's for 4 months. So I can just like send my notes through email.
We're gonna put that on our December. So
And we can also make sure we have the. Sort of things and,
Yeah.
interview stuff.
So I can,
So I'm giving you some agenda items for December, right?
Yes, okay.
Water conservation plan. 2023 calendar.
Yep.
We will also have report on individual stewardships. And discussion of our retreat. Are there any things that you'd like to speak to with respect to your individual
Let's
responsibility?
just take a moment and celebrate the state of Utah's
oh, right.
sense in canceling the islands project. That was one.
Do you,
Unconstitutional, I think was the word.
do you have the understanding that it is dead, or do you have the understanding that it is dead, but potentially could return as a zombie?
I mean, I guess I haven't looked at it very much, but you know, will the islands people, are they likely to sue the state of Utah? Yes. Whenever you sue something, zombies occur. So, do I expect a lawsuit? Yes, I do. Yeah.
But I did feel like it will be a very difficult problem.
I think that the state has really worked hard to make sure that their case is lawsuit proof. So. Thank you.
I heard something about the Great Salt Lake. The governor's talking about something that's coming in, that's gonna help with the water of the Great Salt Lake.
Oh, really?
And it was, I can't remember what it was about, but I caught the tail end of some proclamation
Lovely.
he's doing today.
Oh,
There's gonna be some
really?
sort of stuff that's gonna help.
That would be lovely.
Did you happen to hear Paul Cox's talking to you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Paul Cox is, spoke at BYU, he made the case talk for national protection for this. Potential national park. I think it's
Right.
that there is, there's a good case that that it could qualify for national protection, national protection.
Certain elevation of the lake or something.
Okay, we have some minutes from last time. If you have the ability to, these minutes, please do. These minutes, not taken by Michaela.
Nope.
These were in by Rachel.
Tell me your first name again.
Michaela.
Michaela, welcome.
Thank you.
And it's, again, it's the main topics with the notes for where the recording starts, those topics. I thought they were pretty
I have to apologize. Trying to connect last month when I was at the Salt Palace was not working. I could not hear you guys.
good. We can tell. No, it's okay. I'm sorry.
I was like, I apologize. I tried calling in 3 or 4 times. And I said,
Thanks for the care. that you give to-
I do not know if I'll be reassigned for my final year on council. It's really up to the mayor.
You guys have your retreat in
January.
Is it back there? Is there?
He usually has been, yeah.
I'd like to try to come.
It's well worth it. What I said, the mayor and I, well, I appreciate his improvement over time, but we're not, it's not my butt. So, but he's also not been known to change people around much, so I'm thinking he might just leave me on.
You have a preference for?
Well, I'd like to go
How
back
many are you on?
3. I'd actually like to go back on planning commission and get Terry off of it. I don't remember.
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to go on planning.
Okay. This is your last year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
But I would be happy to stay on.
We would, of course, love you. We're fans. Are there any comments on minutes? I would entertain a motion of minutes.
That we approve the minutes.
I second that. All in favor of approval of minutes?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Thank you. Just as a reminder, our next meeting is scheduled again for the first Thursday in December, which is at the first of December. So
I heard that I went to meetings recently.
I'm starting to get nervous that I'm flying out and went to Denver that night for a conference. I can't remember. But will everyone be here December first?
Sure.
If I can't be here, I have to be on Zoom. Please, just so you understand the rhythm of when we send out agendas. So I try to collect any agenda items from the committee a week in advance. I try to get those agenda items to Michaela or Matt by Friday or next Thursday, so try to get that out. The week before is Thanksgiving. If you, I don't want to disturb your Thanksgiving. So if you could send me any agenda items you have. Gail, anything else for you?
Nope, just happy to be here.
Glad you're here.
Yeah.
you. That was unanimous.
Please turn in your ballots if you haven't yet.
Actually, I have it with me to go drop it off right now.
They are very important.
They're very important. This is a
Very
very important election to see the voice of the people.
Well, we have a lot of, no matter what the results of the election